Hello all and welcome, and I'm MGTOW philosopher, and guess what? She's back! The fake redhead who really has silver hair. As she's getting so old, you can see the white, gray, silvery roots of her face at the base of her fake red hair. Amy Horton is back. Amy Horton! Yes, she's back with another article. Why can't I find a good guy who isn't intimidated by me? I'm so strong. I'm so powerful. I'm so intelligent. They just are so scared of me. It's comedy gold, baby. Comedy gold. Let's just get right to it, shall we? So, let's begin. It feels like there are two kinds of men in the world. Nice guys who find me terrifying, and jerks who aren't fazed by me at all. Those nice guys that find you terrifying... They find you terrifying because they are terrified of you because you're a bitch. You're a cunt, okay? That's not strong. You're mistaking being a bitch with being strong. And for the jerks, you're pissed off because they aren't fazed by you at all. You want them to be fazed by you, but at the same time, you don't want them to be any way affected by you. What? But you don't like them because they're not affected by you. This woman is crazy. So she's already contradicted herself right here. So she wants guys who aren't terrified of her, and she's got them. Oh, but they're jerks. Why are they jerks? Because they're not fazed by me. I love it. I love the contrariness of this bitch's boasts. So she discounts them as jerks for this very same reason that she discounts the nice guys. Well, the one's terrified of her. The others are not. For the same reason. She's a bitch. I don't like the ones because they're affected by me. I don't like the others because they're affected by me. Well, wait a second. What? The lack of self-awareness here is astonishing. I know there have to be men out there who are both decent and strong. What? There's no context here. First, I don't know what she means by decent and strong. And she's a leftist. She's a self-avowed man-hating feminist. So what she means by decent and strong, she could mean anything. I know what the word decent means, but I don't know what it means to her, because clearly, going by her definitions of things and what she considers to be good guys and jerks and how she defines things, I don't think her definition of decent is the same as mine. Nor do I think her definition of strong is the same as mine. So I don't know what the hell she's talking about. What do you mean by decent and strong, honey? I don't know what you mean. Because I'm both these things as well, and I exist. Well, by my definition of what's decent and strong, you're neither of these things. You're one of the most insecure women I've ever heard, and you're certainly not a decent person, okay? Now, you do exist. I'll give you that one. You got that one right, but the other two, you're way off. And I think I know you better than you know you because you were totally lacking in self-awareness, okay? Totally lacking. Still, it feels like I'll never find these seemingly rare unicorns of a person. What? Well, now she's just parroting men, which is what a lot of this is. She just takes what men say about women, and she gets all bitter and angry, and she takes it and uses it in her own narrative. This woman is not only one of the worst writers I've ever seen, but she's totally unimaginative. Totally. And your writing sucks. Sucks. Write something original for a change, honey. So number one, unicorn of a person. The way that you've cucked men with feminism and all these single mothers and this narrative of evil men and toxic masculinity and feeding them all this soy milk for all these years and raising them like girls and having an education system that educates them like girls and turns them into girls, frou-frou boys that ought to be running around in dresses. You're surprised that they're all a bunch of pussies, honey? Come on. Number one, I have a strong personality, and somehow this attracts weak men. Okay, I don't understand it. I thought that when I became so confident and independent, you mean bitchy and bitter, I would attract a man who's the same. Yeah, it's amazing that actually strong, independent men aren't attracted to bitter bitches. Go figure. Instead, I seem to appeal to guys who want a mommy. Well, if you act like a mommy, guess what's going to happen? you're going to get weak men who want a mommy. And by the way, what you're going to get is weak men. First of all, you're going to get a guy, seemingly nice guy, okay, but then you're going to act like a pushy broad. You're going to be a pushy bitch. And then because he wants pussy, because he wants vagina, because he has been made into a pussy whip simp by 60 years of rabid feminism, he's just going to lay down and take it. Because, you know, he's been taught by his single mommy or his pussy daddy who didn't stand up to mommy that you need to lay down, you need to roll over to get what you want with women, okay? You need to just give them what they want and acquiesce to them. Well, you're surprised that they do this, and then you label them as weak. Love it. Love it. The problem is that I don't want a child or a boyfriend. Well, you've kind of picked the wrong age to be living in. Oh, you have no choice, of course. But you're living in the wrong age, honey, because feminism has cucked the majority of men. And the men that it hasn't cucked, you label them jerks. And the reason you label them jerks is because they don't want to put up with you. They blow your ass off once they find out what a bitch you are. And you label them as jerks. That's why you're so bitter. They want to put up with your ass. And gee, you can't find somebody. It's a mystery. Total mystery. Number 2, I like nice guys, but I'd like a manly one. Well, they don't exist, honey. I don't know what she means by nice guy, by the way. I think what she means by nice guy is a guy that just does whatever she wants and goes along with whatever she wants. But, oh, wait, that's a weakling. But she doesn't want that, but she wants that. Well, you can't be a weakling and a manly guy, okay? Okay? There's a fine line between good men and a doormat. No. Good guys are doormats. That's why they finished last, you idiot. I want someone who's kind, grounded, and considerate. By the way, the bold should really edit because it says, read here, I want some who's kind. It should be someone. What a cheap online rag. They don't even edit what they publish. Grounded and considerate. Grounded and considerate. Well, first of all, the word grounded, it doesn't mean anything. It's a word that has a number of pluralities to it. I mean, it could have to a different person, grounded could mean different things. What do you mean exactly by grounded? I mean, he has a good job, he's stable emotionally. I mean, what is it you're talking about exactly in grounded? You know, it's a loaded term, could mean a lot of different things. As far as considerate, well, I know what I think considerate means, but this is the problem with the left fucking up the language. I don't know what she's talking about when she says this. Any of these words could mean anything when you're talking to a leftist. He needs to be grounded and considerate. I mean, I could speculate what she means by considerate, meaning pulls out my chair, opens my doors, carries my handbag for me. Oh, that's a pussy. I know that is rare, but I don't think it's too much to ask. Yeah, okay, so, but how is he not a doormat if he's opening fucking doors, pulling out chairs, carrying your bag? Isn't that him letting you walk all over him? I'm confused here. I'm confused. She never defines anything to a specific enough point that you can really nail down what the hell she's talking about, which is probably exactly what she wants. I know that's rare, but I don't think it's too much to ask. Well, guess what? I do. Number 3, men are always telling me that they find me intimidating. Well, that's because that's what you want them to tell you before they get the fuck out of there. Yeah, I have a big personality. I had a big ass, too. I've seen your pictures, honey. It's not pretty. Yeah, the face, you might think, oh, it's okay, yeah, with a couple inches of foundation and clown makeup. But I've seen the rest of her. Not so great. But she's 43. What do you expect, right? Yes, I have a big personality, but I'm not mean. Oh, really? By whose definition? Have you read this broad's work? She is passion men. 9 Ways to Sunday. Good Lord. You're not mean, huh? I have a huge heart and an empathetic soul. Well, apparently you're not empathetic to men. Empathetic to who? Who are you empathetic to? Yourself? Well, that's not empathy, honey. I'm smart, but it's not as if I'm incredibly successful and rich. You got that right. You're a failed actress who works as a cocktail waitress, and you write this crap for some online blog that probably doesn't even pay you. Yeah, you ain't rich, all right, and you're certainly not incredibly successful. She says, I'm not incredibly successful, which implies she's still successful. I don't consider cocktail waitresses in L.A. who are failed actresses successful, okay? There's no real reason to be intimidated by me unless a guy is so insecure that he finds me threatening. It's a total turnoff. Yeah, who's telling you they're intimidated? Did they use that word? Yeah, here's how the conversation went. You find me intimidating, don't you? He's thinking to himself, oh, good Lord, what can I say to get the hell out of here as quick as possible? Oh, yeah, honey. Yeah, I find you intimidating. Yeah, that's right. Sure. That's what it is. Bye. He told me he finds me intimidating. Ooh, he finds me intimidating. Men find me intimidating. That's the problem. I'm not a bitch. They just find me intimidating. Yeah, I wonder why they find you intimidating. Because you're a bitch? Oh, that can't be it. No. A total turnoff. Huh? You need to look in the mirror, honey. You were the total turnoff. Don't you get it? Number 4. I refuse to change my personality to fit a guy's preferences. I see. I'm proud of who I am. I've worked long and hard to get to a place where I truly like myself. Oh, God. Oh, my God. You actually like yourself, huh? You know, sometimes you shouldn't like yourself. I mean, yeah, I think it's important for people to be comfortable with themselves and like yourselves, but if you're like Charles Manson or something like that, you probably shouldn't be liking yourself too much. And if you're a cunt, a total cunt, a bitch, maybe it's time to do a little self-analysis. Yeah, maybe you shouldn't be so comfortable with yourself after all. I'd never let all that go to please a man. Yeah. God forbid you change anything to get a man because you're perfect just as you are as men are running away from you in droves. No, there's nothing wrong with you. It's every man on earth that has a problem, not you. If anything, a man's disapproval makes me push back twice as hard. Oh, really? Well, there you go. Oh, but that can't be the problem. You're perfect. You have a vagina after all. Oh, but when a man disapproves, you don't look at yourself and say, could it be there's something wrong with me? Is he disapproving because there's something to disapprove of? Yeah, people just disapprove of stuff all the time with no reason. They have no reason. There's nothing to disapprove of. They just disapprove. They don't know why. There's nothing to disapprove of, but they feel the need to disapprove anyway, right? Yeah, I'm sure there's nothing about you to disapprove of. And if they do disapprove of the things that don't exist to be disapproved of, you just push back twice as hard, which means pushing them away, but somehow they're intimidated by you. You push them away twice as hard as they disapprove, and that's them being intimidated. Interesting. I don't give a damn if I'm too much woman for him. Oh, God, that's what fat women say. He can leave. And they are, honey, and you're alone. Number 5. It's like the right man for me is a rare and precious gem. Well, you do know rare and precious gems ain't as rare and precious as you might think. Diamonds are actually quite common, in fact. It's just that some diamond suppliers, some diamond jewelry makers hoard them, control the supply. It's one of the few monopolies on Earth. And so they make it rare by only releasing a certain amount every year. So precious gems are really not all that precious. In fact, many of them are not anyway. Some, but the majority no. Anyway, it's like the right man for me is a rare and precious gem. Yeah, you're so rare and precious. You know what she's saying when she says that? She's saying that she's rare and precious because she wants somebody just like her. I keep telling myself so I don't give up hope of finding him entirely. No, she doesn't have a humongous ego. Oh, no, she wants a man that's just like her. And she wants a man who's a rare and precious gem. Yeah, so humble, isn't she? And so awash in self-awareness. I keep telling myself that so I don't give up hope of finding him entirely. I know I'm worthy of something magical. Oh, my God. What do you think? You're fucking Rapunzel, honey? What do you think this is, huh? Disney movie? You're worthy of something magical? What planet are you living on? Relationships, marriage, or contracts. They're business deals, sweetheart. Magic? Get the fuck out of here. What planet are you living on? Magic. So I have to be patient. Yeah, because Bigfoot's gonna come walking through your door any day now because he's real too, right? Just like Santa Claus. Oh, you can put out those stockings because he's sure gonna come down that chimney and leave you some nice gifts and candy canes in those stockings, right? And when Easter rolls around, you better be ready for the Easter Bunny. Yeah, come on. And do you still put your teeth? They probably are still falling out to this day. You're an old broad, so I'm sure you're still losing quite a few teeth. Do you put those under your pillow in the hopes of a big cash reward from the Tooth Fairy? Do you believe in the Tooth Fairy too, honey? You should live in fantasy land. I'm worthy of something magical. Why? Why? Is your vagina gold? Do you lay golden eggs? What's so great about you? Who told you that you're so worthy? I can't pretend that a man clearly lacking in the... Oh, she's so arrogant. Listen to this. I can't pretend that a man clearly lacking in the correct qualities. Oh, yes, there have to be correct qualities. He has to meet these certain specific criteria, and every single one. I will not compromise in every single way, even though I've said in other articles I've written that I'm ready to compromise and I'm open to anything, everything, but now I'm going to contradict myself because it's convenient to the article that I'm writing, and because I'm all over the place, because I don't know what the fuck I want. It does get old, though. Yeah, and so do you. You're very old now. Have you stopped and asked yourself, is my way of approaching things maybe the wrong way because I'm 43 years old and I'm bitter and alone? Maybe I should rethink my strategy? Oh, no, we don't do that. I don't do that. Oh, no, 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 no. It does get old, though, when all these seemingly good guys bail. Yeah, because you're so intimidating. Number 6, I'm not going to soften my approach. What does that mean? Something similar to lowering your standards, perhaps? Something you said you would be willing to do, in fact, you were trying to do, that you were doing, but of course you're not actually doing it. When I was younger and less secure, a man who was my superior told me that I needed to be softer. Yeah. I took it seriously then, but I could never make it work. Now I'd laugh in his face. I better think, well, yeah. You laugh in men's faces who give you very good advice because of everything I've read of yours. You are very hard, callous, cold, cunt-like woman. You're a bitch. Men don't like bitches, especially bitter old bitches with big fat asses and gray hair. Who are you kidding? You don't get to choose at your age. You have standards. You want to be picky. Silver-haired broads who are bitter and angry and damaged goods don't get to be picky. You're lucky to get the guy who washes the toilets in the elementary school, okay? You're lucky to get the janitor, all right? You're lucky to get the guy that works at the Quiznos handing out those little cards. Ooh, buy 5 subs, get 1 free. I mean, you're lucky to get that guy who stands outside the bank and flips around the sign. We have savings, new savings accounts, great interest, great interest. By the way, you don't get great interest these days. I mean, come on. What are you expecting, huh? A rare, precious gem? Really? But that ain't you. Do you know what's considered rare and precious in the marketplace? Okay? Sexual marketplace value, you have none of that. I need to soften my approach, but I laugh in men's faces when they talk to me, and I don't know why I'm alone. The men are running away from me in droves, I don't know why. I just laughed in his face. Yeah, honey, wow. Jeez, you are such a keeper. I can't imagine why you're alone. I just can't stop laughing. I'm sorry. This is too funny, man. This broad is so hilarious. The cognitive dissonance and the total lack of self-awareness, it's just combines to be comic gold. Number 7, I'm not responsible for protecting the egos of men who can't handle me. Yes, but you're also not responsible for attacking and trying to harm the egos of those men as some kind of shit test to see if they're real strong men or not. Nothing is more unappealing than the guy who's so fragile that he views my phenomenal woman. This woman essentially describes herself in the most glowing of adjectives. It's unbelievable, the ego on this broad, okay? You would think that she was 25, a 10, a rockin' hot body, and had a 150 IQ, and was a runway model, and had a PhD in astrophysics. I mean, you would think this broad was some kind of hot piece of ass with a brain to boot, and that she was kicking fun to be with instead of some old, bitter, hagged out, big-ass broad with gray hair. It was a cunt and damaged goods. Oh, yeah, you're phenomenal, all right, honey. Ay, ay, ay. My phenomenal womanhood is a threat to be squashed. Aren't you projecting? Don't you view their phenomenal manhood as a threat to be squashed? Isn't that really the problem, that you want to destroy men? I think a lot of what she says is projecting. I really do. Nothing's more unappealing than a guy who's fragile. You mean nothing's more unappealing than someone who's as fragile as you are and tries to project a veneer of strength when you're really so weak. You're very easy to read, honey, very easy to read. I simply do not believe that a kind, caring man must also be a wimp. Well, you may not want to believe it, honey, but that's the case. This is not Little House on the Prairie, okay? There are no guys running around out there named Charles Ingalls who work all day, who are big, strong, strapping guys, but are also nice and kind and loving and in touch with their feelings and so nice, but also strong. It's a TV show. You've been watching too much fucking TV. And by the way, it's a TV show that hasn't been on the air in decades. I simply do not believe that a kind, caring man must also be a wimp. Well, he must be. He is, you dummy. I find that most of the wusses out there are actually insecure and petty. You mean like you? You mean like you? Hi, this broad is so lacking. Ay, my God. Yeah, you're real intelligent, honey. Not. Number 8. I don't want a cocky jerk. And yet, you're a cocky jerk. That's amazing. The guys that you attract are cocky jerks, just like you. Oh, but how am I attracting cocky jerks? I don't get it. The only thing I attract are cocky jerks. What's going on here? Oh, because you hate yourself. You hate yourself. You don't like who you are deep down. So deep down, that's why you're so dismissive, and you so don't like these cocky jerks, because they remind you of the real you. Now, that's why you try to force yourself to be interested in the good guys, but they're pussy wimps, and they're not like you. Actually, that's untrue. So I don't want a cocky jerk, but at least they aren't afraid of me. Oh, but that's actually untrue. Well, why'd you say it then? They act like they aren't afraid of me. Oh, I see. So every man on earth is afraid of you. The cocky jerks, the nice guys, they're all afraid of you, and yet somehow you're not the issue. So now, so we could have been maybe, possibly, might have been convinced earlier, some idiots, that maybe it was maybe all nice guys share a similar trait, that they're so insecure and they're really afraid of a strong, independent woman. But now you're trying to convince us that not only does that half of the population of men fear you, but now you're trying to say that the cocky jerks are afraid of you too. Wow, you're so strong. You get every man afraid of you. They act like they're afraid of me. In reality, I think they use their sarcasm as a defense mechanism against feeling anything real. That's no better than the men who let me walk all over them. I need mature love. Oh my God, you just want to wring her neck, don't you? She's so stupid. Okay, so let me get this straight. The cocky jerks are afraid of you, and they manifest that fear by using sarcasm, which, of course, is sarcasm they are using about your bitchy attitude. Yeah. Oh, but that's fear. That's a defense mechanism to keep against feeling anything real. Oh, you might be right about that. They're trying to defend themselves against getting anywhere near you. And then they run away from you. But they're not afraid of you, honey. They just don't like you, okay? They're too nice to tell you outright. That's no better than the men who let me walk all over them. So you're trying to walk all over them. Well, there you go. There you go. She shit tests guys, and when they let her walk all over them, she deems them unworthy. And then she has the guys that don't let her walk all over them, but I don't like them because, they're jerks. Yeah, they're jerks. They push back and stand up to me. I fucking hate that. Yeah, I need mature love. What is that? What is mature love? Do you even know? You cocky cunt, you. Do you even have any idea what mature love is? No, you don't, because it doesn't exist. And neither does your strength and independence. All an illusion. Number 9. If a guy is scared because I don't put up with crap, he shouldn't give me any. What? Okay, so it's their fault. So I don't even, and by the way, she doesn't define what she means by crap. So you can very easily assume it's something irrational and unreasonable that if she defined it, people would say, what the fuck? That's not crap. He's not giving you crap, honey. What the hell? You're just shit testing the guy. So I find this to be a simple solution. I'm so tired of men saying I'm scary because I call them out when they're being awful. So I act like a bitch. I act like a strong, cocky cunt bitch when they act like little simps. And they call me awful for being that. They call me scary because I call them out. Being asked to behave like a decent person should not be a problem. But she doesn't define any of these terms. She just makes these blanket statements that the leftists love to make, don't define anything, typical critical theory. What do you mean by decent person, honey? What do you mean by their crap? What do you mean by them being awful? So let me get this straight. They're wimps, but they're acting awful and treating you awfully, which wouldn't be the behavior of a wimp or a simp who's looking to get laid, and then you call them out on it, and then they suddenly become wimps? Is that what you're trying to convince us of? And then they become scared of you and run off? I see. Yeah, I want a great dude who meets my standards. Your standards that you said in numerous other articles that you are loosening the restrictions on, that you've cut in half. You've cut by 2/3. You've cut by 3/4. You barely have any standards left. You're open to anything. Everything. Except men. except regular men who are not rare, precious gems like you. You mean like you imagine yourself to be. And then in reality, you just end up attracting guys who are exactly like you. Oh, amazing. You don't like them. Oh, what a big shocker. No, they don't meet your unrealistic expectations, which are nothing like who you are. A cocktail waitress with a mediocre IQ, barely passable writing and communication skills, and who is the damaged goods pitch. Shocking you can't find that rare precious gem male unicorn. Number 10. If one more guy cops out because he can't deal with me, I'm going to lose it. I think you already have lost it, honey. You've lost your freaking mind. That's for sure. I know this is a cowardly, weak excuse to run away from me, and I'm tired of it. Yeah, it's so cowardly. They want to get away from you. They're so tired of your shit. They're so tired of your nagging, your complaining, your shit testing a 43-year-old broad with a big, fat ass who thinks she's at least 5 points higher on the sexual marketplace scale than she actually is. And they're tired of it. And I don't blame them. I'm clearly attracting all the wrong men, but I'm just being myself. Yeah, like attracts like. You're attracting the wrong men because you don't know who you are. You don't know who you are, so you're attracting men who are exactly like the way you actually are, but you don't like yourself to begin with. That's why you don't know who you are. This isn't what I want at all. Well, who cares what you want? We rarely get what we want. Why can't I find the balance I'm craving? Yeah, why indeed? Why can't some bitter old broad who knows zero about herself and doesn't realize she's a cunt, a cocky bitch, who doesn't realize that cocky bitches attract cocky bitches, and she don't like cocky bitches, which means she don't like herself, but that's what she's attracting, and she doesn't know why. Number 11, I'm into sweet, creative types, but they can't handle me. Sweet, creative types would also be sensitive little pussy boys, okay? Artistic guys who sit around musing about poetry and about art and about feelings are going to be pussies, which is exactly what you don't want. But you're attracted to these type of people. What? Their egos are too fragile and they aren't secure enough in their manhood. Yeah, I wonder why. All that soy milk that gives them the testosterone levels of a 100-year-old man, and they were raised on soy milk, so they grew up without enough testosterone to develop the proper amount of muscle as well as brain mass for that necessary critical thinking. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, and they're all emotional like women. Yeah, it's some shocker that they're not very manly. I enjoy men who aren't basic. What does that mean, aren't basic? What does that mean, huh? That doesn't mean anything. I can't stand dudes who just want to drink beer and watch sports all day. Yeah, the real men that you said before that you wanted. Oh, but they're all jerks, right? Because they'd rather watch sports and drink beer than listen to you nag and complain all day. Woo-hoo-hoo, big surprise. On the other hand, the autistic guys are often depressed and moody. Well, geez, you can't win with this broad. I don't want autistic guys. I don't want real men. I don't want nice guys. Well, what the hell do you want, lady? Martians? Should we get those little green men in here? Maybe they'll appeal to you. Number 12, I can't stand the ambitious, materialistic types who aren't scared of me. Well, now, first you can't stand the jerks, okay? The cocky guys, or just like her, essentially. And she also can't stand ambitious, materialistic types who aren't scared of her. Are they jerks also? Do they fall into the jerk category? Their lack of intimidation is pretty much the only appealing thing about them. I don't care about money or things. Bullshit! So their high-powered careers, fancy cars, and sweet apartments do nothing for me. My ass, they don't, cunt. You're just trying to virtue signal to your big fat readers. They end up hating me because I find them lame. I see. So these are guys who essentially are probably at least decent looking, or whether or not they're decent looking, they have worked their whole lives to build wealth, to accumulate resources, to do the things that they know women want, and you are looking on all their accomplishments in scorn. These are people, by the way, you dumb leftist cunt, you who are productive. Of course, she's right. You got to remember, she's a Marxist. She's a communist. She hates wealth. She hates money, of course. Oh, yeah, I hate the bourgeoisie. Oh, these guys are the bourgeoisie. Oh, I'm an oppressed woman. Oh, my narrative tells me I have to hate them. So, of course, I'll hate them because I'm a weak-minded simp myself who is ruled by my ideology, which is feminism, which is really cultural Marxism. Yeah, I just hate these ambitious, materialistic types who are well-educated, made lots of money, who must have high IQs to be that successful, much higher IQs than me. Could it be that she is intimidated by them and their success, which is the cornerstone, the hallmark of any good communist, Marxist pussy? Yeah, could be. I'm guessing that they find you to be quite lame, honey. Number 13, it's so hard to find manliness without machismo. Yeah, it's so hard to find manly men who aren't manly. It's so manly to find men who are not macho. Yeah, manly men that aren't macho. Are we again hearing a contradiction here? A contradiction in terms. Truly grown up and mature men have no need for machismo. Serenity now. Serenity now. Okay, honey, you are a broad. You are an old broad. You are a bitter old broad. You are a bitter old broad with gray hair that hates men. You're a bitter old broad with gray hair that hates men who doesn't even know who she is. How the hell could you possibly know who anybody else is? Who are you going to tell me, a man, how I should be? Don't you just love it when these presumptuous cunts tell you, a man, how you should be? Meanwhile, if you go out of your way to tell her how she should be as a woman, by the way, something you have far more insight into being a man with your superior grasp of logic and reason and critical thinking, she gonna freak out. You don't know anything about women. Who you tell me how I should be as a woman? How dare you judge me? You scumbag. You scumbag woman hater, you. What? But I'm just doing what you're doing. And I'm doing it better. Of course, it's evil if we do that to them. But she's going to turn around with her tiny, pea brain and total lack of self-awareness and no empathy. That's bullshit that women have more empathy. This chick has zero. And she's going to tell me how I need to be as a man? Bitch, you don't know word one about what it means to be a real man. So go fuck yourself. They know who they are. They have quiet strength because they don't put on a show. Well, then how would you know they're manly? Their quiet strength. How would you know if they're quiet about it? I think this is true, at least. I'd have to meet one. Wait a second. How do you know what a real man would even be like if you've never met one before? This is just more fairy tale, pie in the sky, bullshit, her imagination, nothing more. She has no clue what a man is like, nor what a real man is. I'd have to meet one of these guys to know for sure you never met one. This is like me trying to describe to you what a turtle looks like, and I've never seen a turtle. I just know the word. What the fuck? Well, I can't describe a turtle if I've never fucking seen a turtle or heard a description of a turtle before. I'm just flailing blindly, all right? How the fuck are you going to tell us what a real man is if you've never even met one before, honey? At least your definition of one. Unbelievable. And by the way, she is indicting and calling the majority of, if not almost all men, not real men when she says this. I think it's true at least. I'd have to meet a real man and know for sure, meaning I've never met a real man yet. Right, because all the men in the world are phonies. They're not real men. You're the only real woman in the world. Whereas a woman, you're real, but men are all pussies and wimps and not real men and all to be looked down upon and tread upon and to be doormats for your gigantic feet and your big ass. Yeah, okay, honey. Interesting. What a high opinion you have of yourself. And surprisingly, no man has wanted to be with you yet. Astonishing. Of course, he doesn't meet her laundry list of expectations. Expectations that are so numerous that her definition of a real man is impossible to meet. Amazing. Her expectations are impossible to meet. And yet she expects to find somebody. And finally, number 14. I want a man who's like me. Decent. What does that mean? I know what that means. I mean, she's not decent, so I don't know. I have a baseline for her definition. Mature. Mature? Lady, you are not mature. You are far from mature and grounded enough to value a badass partner. What does that mean? What does that mean? I don't know what any of that means. When I finally find my guy, I'll be so thrilled. Lady, you are 43 years old. If we were to go back 100 years, you'd be dead already. The life expectancy of everybody is like doubled in the past century, okay? If we were to just go back 100 years, you would be like one of the oldest spinsters on the planet, okay? You would be like an ancient broad already, all right? And already not, I mean, not to have kids, you would be 100 years ago the most bizarre, unusual, held up as an example to be ridiculed and scorned. Oh, but that's no problem. Yeah, when I find my man. What, when you're 60? When you're 80? How much time do you think you've got left, honey? You have no time left. You're living in fantasy land. Your time is up. I'll be so thrilled that there's no way I will let him go. From what I understand, she's already found her man. I think she was married at one time, what somebody told me. I've been told that she married her Chad and that ended in divorce. Some good-looking Chad dude, surfer-looking guy. And he broke up with her ass. Gee, I wonder why. It's a mystery. If he's the right one, he'll feel the same way about me. Well, I thought you already found the right one, honey. Why'd he leave your ass? Oh, it's a mystery. It has to be his fault. He was so cocky and arrogant. He wasn't anything like me. Well, how are you? Oh, I'm cocky and arrogant. Oh, okay. Okay. He'll inherently know my value. Well, how? What is he, Superman? He's got X-ray vision? Is he a mind reader? He'll just automatically know your value and my worth as a human being. Well, there's different ways to value worth. If we value your worth via resources, via your ability to make them, via money. Let's see, you're a cocktail waitress, so most of what you make is on tips. You're getting old. You know, you can cover up that fat ass with a moo-moo or a voluminous skirt. You can wear, essentially a car-covered dress, and you can cover that shit up, and your face is moderately okay with makeup. So you might make okay tips for the next couple years, but you ain't got much money. You have no real money. Not really. You live in an apartment with a privacy curtain instead of doors. You're poor, clearly. So your value and worth as a human being is pretty low. I'm just a little worried I'll never find that man at all. Honey, you're 43 years old. Time is up. Your expiration date was at least 13 years ago. Why weren't you looking in your 20s? Why didn't you find him in your 30s? What the hell were you doing? Oh, that's right. You were riding the cock carousel. You weren't having any trouble finding men then. No, you had no trouble finding men then. In your 20s and your 30s, you found plenty of men to bang you. Yeah. Yeah, you had no problems. Now, of course, you're having problems, so it's everybody else's fault. Men are intimidated by me. Oh, it's everybody else's fault. Oh, it's not my fault. Oh, the bad boys are intimidated by me. And oh, the nice guys are intimidated by me. And even the ambitious guys who do well. Oh, well, maybe they're intimidated by me, maybe not. But I hate them because they do well, and I'm a loser. I'm a loser communist. Yeah, No, you don't have any issues, honey. Yeah, you're a perfect, rare, special gem. Yeah, if only you were rare and special. Unfortunately, you are part and parcel of the problem. You are a very common creature. You are representative of the majority of women these days. You vastly overestimate your own value. And this lady, guys, is typical of what you're going to get these days. Somebody who vastly overestimates what they're worth, and so their standards are going to be way too high, so no man will ever meet them, and they will never get with a guy who is basically at the same level as them, sexual marketplace value-wise, because whatever level that might be, they're 20, 30, 40, 50% or more above that in their own mind. So you'll never meet their expectations. Trying to date Western women is a waste of time, as you can see from the articles written by Amy Horton. So let me know what you think of this article in the comments section, and please like and subscribe to my channel. And if you feel so inclined, you can contribute to my Patreon. You will find a link in the description of this video, as well as the last 20 seconds. I am the MGTOW philosopher, and I wish you a good day. Take care.